Welcome back, you beautiful fucks. It's me, Danny. Today is a blessed day. I don't know what my hands are doing in the video, but I know what I'm doing. And we're finally getting into the Heisei era of figures, which is, of course, holy shit, I forgot. Because we're talking about another kaiju in this movie. Or this video, not movie. Ain't that special for production. And I forget how to pronounce this kaiju, this stone mountain. You're going to see in a second. We are talking about Return to Godzilla figures, 1985 Godzilla, to be exact. Let me type into my phone here. Whatever this guy is. Stand by. Oh God. Daimajin? Oh my God. I came in unprepared. Shows me I'm a fake fan of this guy. I got him. Well, it is what it is, folks. You know who he is. Listen, I'll take the L on this one, okay? I don't know how to pronounce the name. I know it starts with a D. I've seen it before, but I feel like I butcher it and I'm afraid to say it, even though I already said it once. Daimajin. I could be completely off. Make myself look like a fool here, okay? I'm sorry. I got the figure because I love the design. I think this whole concept looks cool, and I've heard the first movies is pretty good. I think there's about 3 of them. We got 2. So the first one I showed was the Movie Monster series that Bandai did, which is a pretty good figure for people who don't have, or should I say a kaiju that doesn't have that many 6-inch figures to choose from, or really, from what my understanding, doesn't have that many figures at all. But this right here is actually an X Plus action figure. Because I know X Plus used to do 6-inch scale figures. And I think they did a 7-inch too, or maybe an 8-inch, I forget. I know that everyone knows them for his statues. Oh, excuse me, sorry. But they did this figure, and it's very good. Great detail, great paint, great sculpt. It's obviously more movie accurate compared to the Movie Monster series, which is a bit on the cheaper side, but that's still okay because, again, not too many people know about this guy, myself included. I guess you can throw me in there, but I still want to show him off, her off. Let me not misgender here, but because you got to show some of these cool figures off. And some of you probably definitely know who this is and can be like, Danny, that you pronounce it like this. You were way off, or you said it right, or you're a fake fan, Danny. Sell those figures, give them to me. You don't deserve them. You haven't earned them. And I'm going to say, no. I'm keeping them. In fact, I'm buying 6 more of each because I'm that stubborn. And I'm going to do it out of spite because I'm also trying to become more of a hater. Just kidding. That's negativity. We don't want that. Nothing but positive vibes here. He has that knife on him. Does not come out. But I like on the X Plus, like the chain, like it's like a soft plastic. It's almost like it's not like the Movie Monster series that is kind of sculpted. It's like attached to him, sculpted on him, I should say. But they're still both good figures, you know. And I picked up both of them for about the same price each, I should say. I don't know how much they go for now. Anyway, though, cool figures. Okay, they get the thumbs up. They get the Danny seal of approval. Moving on to stuff I actually know about now, which is Godzilla 1984. I know I said 85 earlier, but I know the movie came out in 85 in America, so some people get pissy about that. Listen, 1984, 1985, who gives a shit? Call it whatever you want. I'm not that stubborn, obviously. So, this figure, though, is good. That's what I'm going to say. I think what makes it or stops it from being great for me is his pose, where he's kind of looking like his pupils are looking forward, but like he's kind of like his stance, he's almost looking down, you know. And for me, in Return to Godzilla, he's more upright. You know, there's a few moments maybe where he's kind of slouched a little bit like that, but he at least from my point of view, in my memory, he was always more standing upright. So, but they still did a very good job. This was a Bandai store or Godzilla store exclusive, I think. And I'm trying to, like, I was gonna say, So they did an 84, 85 figure back when they were doing memorial boxes years ago. This right here is a bootleg that was based off that mold that I just talked about from the memorial box. And you can see they're different molds. Bandai did not just reuse it. It's definitely inspired by the same exact figure, but still a newer mold for the new release. And for the custom I did, that's obviously custom because I like buying the bootlegs just to customize them. So I like the gold how it came out. I wish I did the mouth though, because the mouth just looks dirty. There's a few spots on there too where you can still see the original black as well. And I try to be artistic and paint some parts like his eyes and his nails on his feet and hands. Can't paint them yellow instead of gold to be like, oh, add some variety in the color. But it just stands out. It kind of looks like he's all gold and fancy, but then like his toenails just covered in cheese, which is not the aesthetic I was going for. And you saw too the bottom of his feet were still black, so I need to whip out the old gold paint and fix a couple mistakes. Cause I like the gold. I like how he came out. It's a very simple paint job, and it's a nice addition to have on the shelf. Like, oh, it's gold Godzilla. Oh, memories. Here we have it. NECA. Some of you probably don't remember this or even were there when it was happening. So I remember when NECA was releasing these Godzilla figures. They first started coming out. This is one of the first ones that came out. Okay. And you can probably go back online and see the original prototype images of their 1985 Godzilla. And it was bad. So bad that NECA said, hey, we're going to change it, don't worry. And they did. And this is the first edition right here. Has huge thighs. My goodness. On par with Shin Godzilla. And small dorsal plates. And they're pretty thin too. I don't know if I already showed it. I wasn't paying attention. But if not, you'll see here. But still, good detail, good paint. One of the big complaints, I think, was also the dorsal plates. Yeah, they're pretty thin. But the head, I remember just try to go back online. I'm sure you can find images of it. It was bad. But this head sculpt is definitely much better. And in my opinion, I've heard some people still complain about it. I don't think it's that bad. I think they definitely fixed it. And this it's a good figure. Not the greatest, but still a good entry. And again, these were like $20 back then. So, I can't even complain. Like, in some ways, that makes it a great figure. Because for the price, you got something with a lot of posability, a lot of detail, good paint, and a decent sculpt, aside from the gigantic thighs. But, NECA did a good job. And I'm glad to have it. But they did re-release it. And here we have the second edition of the figure from 1984, 1985. Obviously, right off the bat, you see that the sculpt of the head is improved upon. He lost weight, especially in his thighs, and the dorsal plates have been improved. They're bigger and they're thicker. Also, I suck when it comes to bending wire tails. As you can see, just the tip of his tail, it's almost at a 90-degree angle. Because I think I mentioned this in my Skullcrawler unboxing last week. I'm afraid, because when NECA was doing the bendy wire tails, that's when I was first hearing about people say, "Oh, bendy wires, they can snap." So I'm always afraid to touch them, really, put them to the limit. So I leave it alone. Not the best tail work. I'm sorry. I'm not the master. Look at that. Oh my god, it's just so forced. But this right here, this figure is great. I'm not the best when it comes to posing figures. I try. Okay, I'm sorry. Because especially with NECA, because some of their joints are so stiff. Like, there's a lot of points of articulation on NECA figures, but some of those joints are just so stiff that it might as well not even count as a point of articulation. Like, it's still better than like what you get from a movie monster series, but some parts you just don't want to force. Cause it's like, let's be honest, NECA, they can break. It's not Haya where you could throw it underneath a bulldozer and it somehow still manages to stay together. NECA, the wind blows in the wrong direction and it'll break an elbow piece. So here's a comparison from the first edition on the left, second edition on the right. And let me look at my wall of NECA artwork over here. I think, yeah, so the second edition actually came with a fancy box that NECA was doing with the artwork and all that. The first edition, they were doing just clamshells, so wasn't that fancy. That's okay. Oh, Gold Godzilla, get him out of here! I gotta repaint him. Cannot keep showing that on camera. It's embarrassing. So, NECA, we miss you. Maybe one day you'll come back, but Haya's doing a really good job right now too. So, you know, they kind of took your place. Anyway, those are the guys that we're talking about today. That I'm gonna say one more time. I apologize. Beat me up in the comments. I don't care. Daimajin. I don't know. I need to see the movie. I want to see the movie. I just have not. But I did pick up the figures because I'm a poser. And I love giant monster movies. Or giant monsters in general. And I wanted representation in my collection. And they were pretty affordable. And then obviously 1984, 1985 Godzilla. Good figures. So I'm very happy with that. We are finally in the Heisei era. So next, which is tomorrow, we talk about 1989 Godzilla and Biollante. So stay tuned for that. Like and subscribe if you'd want to. I appreciate it. If you want to reach out to me, my Instagram's in the comments below. Or in the description below. Not in the comments. I'm afraid of the comments sometimes. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all take care. And I'll see you all next time.